Hey there, I'm Brittni Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefined Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefined Business Podcast. I am pumped to have my guest today because I met this person while we were doing an entrepreneur lunch. I mean, it was probably like 6 months ago. It's been a long time. And we're going around the table and we're asking people what they do. And Zineb starts saying, oh, I do this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I follow you. I follow you on Instagram. I love your stuff. So welcome to the podcast, Zineb of Zee Travel. Welcome.
All right. Thank you for having me.
So tell my listeners a little bit about what you do. I was thinking I was telling somebody today that I was having you on my podcast and they were asking about you. And I said, well, she's a travel blogger, but would you say you're a travel blogger? Do you blog or do you just do Instagram?
I don't blog. I mostly just do short form right now, videos, and then sometimes photos, but mainly like short form videos, my main kind of content.
So what would the title be? So it wouldn't be travel blogger. It would be like
maybe travel content creator, I would say, is usually how I introduce myself. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, okay. First, okay, you can't see because I only do audio. I don't do video on this, but like Zineb is so beautiful. And and I'm trying to remember, you told me where you were from originally. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Morocco, born and raised.
Morocco, yes. Yeah. Yes, that's right. I'm like, I know it was somewhere that is like on my bucket list, but I couldn't remember where. So, So tell a little bit about like how you started and how this evolved into, when I met her, she was doing this part-time and she had a full-time job and she was doing this part-time and now she's doing it full-time. So that's so awesome. But tell my listeners a little bit about your story, how you got started.
Yeah. So I moved to the US like 6 years ago, I believe 2019. And it was for school. I was in engineering. I did my master's in Mississippi State. And that was way before I moved to Utah. But I did that. And then I worked 3 years in Mississippi. And when I started working like in my engineering job, I felt like I didn't have enough time to like actually enjoy the income that I'm making. I had 10 days of vacation a year. And then I fell in love with like traveling and I was just taking pictures everywhere we go and like really loving exploring the US. And that's when I started the account. It was just mostly just to document my travels and stuff like that. And then after that, I traveled to Salt Lake City and went to Park City. And I was like, oh my God, I love this place. I want to move here and that kind of stuff. And then when I moved here was actually when I started like taking content creation seriously and started like really posting regularly and not like once in 3-4 months. And that's when I started growing my account and I was just exploring the area because I was new to the area and really wanted to inspire other people who worked full-time jobs in person kind of thing. Because a lot of people that are traveling are able to travel a lot. We're like working either remotely or self-employed type of thing. But with a full-time job in person, it was a little bit harder to do all kinds of things. So I just wanted to inspire people to get outside and explore nearby and that kind of stuff. So that's how I started.
Yeah. Okay. So she started and her handle is it Zee.travel? I'm trying to remember what it is. Zee.travel, Zee.travel. Yeah. And so you started, first of all, I want to get to the nitty gritty because like I am too an outdoors. Like I love to be in Utah. I love to hike it and it's so beautiful right now. The leaves are starting to change. But what are you using? Let's talk about a little bit of your tools. We both talked about that we both have drones. We were talking about she drones a little bit, but are you using just your iPhone? What are you using?
Yeah, it's mostly just my iPhone. I bought a 360 camera lately just so I can use it if I'm doing like zip lining or something that I'm not able to use my phone for.
Yeah.
But it's mainly just my phone. Even the pictures, like I don't really like carrying too much stuff when I'm hiking and stuff. So like the camera just stays at home and I just take my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Isn't that crazy that like you go to school to be an engineer, you spend all of this money, you invest all this, and it's like really like your phone, like it really has like opened up like so many. I love that. I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you start traveling and people are like sharing and saving your content. And then how did that turn into, then how did you start getting like monetized? Like were people reaching out and saying, I'd love you to come and visit like my resort? Like tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. In the beginning, I would just reach out to like businesses I want to post about kind of thing. And most of the time it was like exchange kind of thing, like I wasn't getting paid. And then later on, I started reaching out to like destinations and like different cities and stuff like that. And those are usually like monetized. And I started monetizing after I got, I think like my first monetized like real campaign was actually with Visit Ogden. I'm really thankful for them for giving me the opportunities. But I had like 14,000 followers, and I really love destinations content, so it would
Yeah.
fit really perfectly into my content. But yeah, that's my majorly like my income comes from brand deals and businesses like working with me and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
And then especially probably when you first started and even now, how many followers do you have now?
On Instagram, I have 54,000. I'm
54,000.
also on TikTok and
Yeah.
Facebook and stuff, but
Yeah. So is it still you're doing a lot of the outreach or are brands starting to reach out to you?
I would say a little bit of both. But my highest paid collaborations were outreach actually, because I'm very intentional of who I'm pitching. I'm like, I see a real good fit here. And like, I think it would be great if we work together. And I think that gives me a lot more, I guess, or not leverage, but like a better negotiating ground
Yeah.
because I do see the perfect fit kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, that is so cool. So you guys give her a follow. It's fun. I on my Instagram, like I have all these like saved under Utah and like so many of them are, I'm like, oh, save me this. And we were just saying like, hey, let's go hiking. We need to hike together. So, but give her a follow. Like it's so amazing. Do you have any advice for anybody who is looking to do something like this?
Yeah, I would say just start and be very consistent and
Mm-hmm.
really have a real goal from the beginning. Like, why are you doing this? Because otherwise, like, you're just gonna burn out and stop posting, kind of thing. And because with like or with short form videos and stuff, it's like always up and down with the algorithms and stuff. You just need to like push through and be like, okay, with seeing low numbers at some point or like high numbers another time. So
Yeah.
yeah, just being consistent and having a real goal from the beginning. I think it's great.
And I love that too. And I was talking about this the other day is, I on my business account, when I hit 10,000 and people were like, oh, how did you hit 10,000? I'm like, I feel like I earned every single one of those followers because like I posted when I didn't want to post. Like I was very consistent for
Mhm.
years.
Yes.
And I think it really is like you can't get frustrated with the algorithm because it's constantly changing and it's just about consistency. And I mean, that's in business in general. Like it is
Yep.
hard. You have to just push through and just keep chugging away. So I love that. That's such good advice. All right. Well, Zee, tell my listeners, I've already told them that you're on Instagram. What is your handle on TikTok and Facebook? Tell them how they can find you, give you a follow.
Yeah, it's the same on TikTok, Zee.travel, and then Facebook is the page. It's Zee Travel. So it's just two names. But yeah, it's Zee.travel on everywhere. So
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I like to end all of my podcasts with asking my guests two questions. So the first one is, what is a pet peeve?
So with content creation, I feel like a lot of businesses don't see us as professionals and more like we're giving you this gift of the ability to create content for our business for us to make money, but we're not going to pay you or just going to give you food kind of thing. So that is like a big pet peeve for me because I see like PR agencies getting paid and nobody coming to them for exchange, but we're always asked to do free labor. So that is like something that you would have to push through and just say no to these things. And then,
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of the things.
I think, I did photography for a lot of years and that was definitely like kind of the same thing where people were like, oh yeah, can you do pictures? Like almost it was like, oh, this is a cute hobby of yours. Would you mind, and I'm like, no, this is a job. I think it took me a few years to get to the point where I like had to set boundaries where I'm like, nope, sorry. Like I don't do stuff for free. You know what I mean? This is my job. So, okay. I love that one. That I can relate to that one. Okay. What is a simple pleasure?
I think just enjoying time with friends and like being able to bring friends on like these collaborations, because I do a lot of destinations and my friends love travel. So like being able to bring my friends to see these things and do these things and that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. And it was so fun to hear your story.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.